my stomach. What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy? What has happened to freedom? I'm done. This is a message to anyone who follows me. If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The fact that it's this close means I've lost all hope in the American people. Like, it should not be this close.
And the men, don't even get me started about dating. To think I was still entertaining a few moderates here and there sometimes. No, honey, no. Not even close. That's never goodbye.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm so pissed off! God damn it!
Eric, settle down. All right, that's it, Eric. You go see the counselor.
Is it safe yet? Can we come out? Have all these psychotic loons on TikTok stopped freaking out, having nervous breakdowns, and literally like something out of a demonic deliverance movie, acting like uncontrolled, unhinged, deranged lunatics screaming over Kamala's loss? Have they calmed down? Are they back on their tranquilizers? Are they back on their meds? Are they under controlled supervision now? Can the rest of us come out? Hey, it's after the election and we're feeling good.
Thank you for playing, should we or should we not? Follow the advice of the galactically stupid!
Let's get ready to rumble!
You can't handle the truth!
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty, and this is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you a notification of my rants, my ravings, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. That's the way that we get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for being a part of the Afternoon Drive. Well, if you're anything like me, you've actually been enjoying going on YouTube and watching the compilation videos that some of the other podcasters and just random YouTubers are putting together of the liberal meltdown on TikTok over Kamala's loss. We're talking about women who are threatening never to have sex again with men because they voted for Trump, like no women voted for Trump. Anyway, are lesbian women not going to have sex now with a lesbian partner that might have voted for Trump? I mean, this is just, the level of just delusional psychoticness here. They want to talk about the so-called unhinged right on J6, which, by CNN definition, we could say was a mostly peaceful protest and might have had outside agitators within the group stirring things up and making it more than it ever actually was ever intended to be. But, I digress. We're on a victory lap here. Donald Trump has been vindicated. We are watching the DOJ try to figure out how to make the final charges against him leveled by Mr. Smith go away. Despite Letitia James, the Attorney General in New York, vowing to press on in her charges against Donald Trump, you've got the judge in the one case saying, yeah, you know what, I may just punt this one and just be done with it. Oh, boom! That was literally just hours after she had given a press conference, vowing to fight on, kind of like Kamala. You got Fani Willis here in Georgia. Her case is dead in the water. She's been proven to be corrupt and inept at her, covering up of a rather romantic tryst with Nathan's hot dog and paying him exorbitant amounts of money. But hey, she paid him back in cash, and they don't keep receipts. If she were prosecuting a case that involved fraud. And the defendant on the witness stand claims to have paid back whatever might have been misappropriated, but said, hey, I did it in cash and I don't keep receipts. Would Fannie just say, I can relate. Judge, set this man free. Nope, 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 nope. That guy's going to prison. Flat out, period. So she and Nathan, it is interesting to watch some of these governors, though, now maneuver to try to gain some leverage with Trump, yet at the same time, you know they've got to be downright terrified. Like Gavin Newsom talking about, we are going to Trump-proof California, and he's, called an emergency session of the legislative body. Yes, Gavin, because you're doing such a great job that even Hollyweird is leaving California. Major movie studios are no longer really doing production in Hollywood. Can't afford it because of all the excess taxes and regulations, so that you can take care of all the people who aren't supposed to be here, who are creating crime, living on the streets, and have turned San Francisco into literally a third world toilet right here in the United States. But you did manage to get the streets cleaned up when China was paying a visit, because you were looking for some money, some grift. But he's gonna Trump-proof California. Well, I got news for you, Gavin. California is getting that close to Gavin Newsom proofing itself from you. I'm telling you, some of you don't realize the inroads that Donald Trump made, that with what he's going to have, with a trifecta of the Senate, and I believe they will hold on to the House, that first 100 days is going to be so crucial. And he hit some home runs within the first 2 years before those midterm elections, that people can tangibly feel the difference at the grocery store, feel the difference on the interest payment of their mortgage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The GOP will make even greater gains during the midterm elections, and it won't be the typical midterm that after one party takes the White House, the other party gains control of Congress 2 years later in the midterms. If Donald Trump has some real successes here, he is setting the stage for J.D. Vance in 2028, and all of the gains that were made in this election cycle, you're going to see, I'm telling you, we are going to flip New York, and now I'm even believing we can actually flip California. And obviously one of the things that's got to do is the Republicans in California got to get their act in gear, and they got to get into and become a part of the counting of votes. California, you're still not done counting. Florida gets it done in an hour. Texas gets it done in a couple of hours. Isn't it funny that the place they seem to always have trouble counting votes is where a Democrat is in charge? Joseph Stalin once said, people who vote decide nothing. People who count the vote decide everything. So just a little thought there, but California is setting the stage, and they have put some key things in place, the Republicans there, in flipping districts and elections, and the red in California is growing. Remember, California used to be a pretty solid Republican state, even with Hollyweird being there. They've had some pretty conservative governors there through the years. So, and Republicans also, used to hold some power in places like New York, but they were your Rockefeller establishment type Republicans. But nonetheless, people who keep living under, insane governors like Hochul in New York and Newsom in California, the people are going to repudiate that and reject it. And so Gavin Newsom, we're going to Trump-proof the state. Yeah, but you're bankrupt. You're bankrupt. And you keep losing your tax base, and you're losing jobs because McDonald's is not going to pay somebody $25 an hour at McDonald's. They're just not. That's why they got kiosks now, and basically they just need one live person at the drive-thru window. And, apparently McDonald's no longer cares about in-dining room service, which I could tell you from 20 years of actually coaching, unlike Tim Walz, the fraud, I did varsity high school sports as a coach for 20 plus years in baseball and basketball. Hey, it was like clockwork. Game over on the team bus. You're finding the first golden arches for dinner. And it used to be, fast food. Now you go to a kiosk and you take a number and you wait for them to bring the food to you a half an hour later, and it's usually cold. At McDonald's, you have lost your way. Take a lead from your number one employee, Donald Trump, and learn how to do it again and make it fast and make it good. And by the way, stop giving into the lib loons and the woke, which was totally repudiated on Tuesday. Don't worry about,
well, we gotta have these 14 other items on the menu that nobody buys, but we've got to factor the cost into the food that the people does buy, because we did pay for all of this tofu burger crap that nobody wants. Nobody's going to McDonald's with the illusion that you're a health food store, okay? You're supposed to be a fast food place that makes really good hamburgers, i.e. the Big Mac, and the best fries on the planet. Do that, do it well, do it fast, and you are going to see an incredible turnaround in your financial fortunes. But Gavin Newsom has driven businesses out of California with his insane policies. He's going to need the federal government's help financially. You might want to make nice with the guy who's going to be running the show there now. Oh, no. Congress writes the checks, which will all be Republicans. See how this works? Kathy Hochul, who threatened Donald Trump, yet the fact New York is also bankrupt and she needs federal funding. Hey, did you see that Kamala raised over $1 billion? $1 billion she brought in 4 months. Apparently she spent it all because her campaign, it's now being reported, is $20 million in debt. Bump. Beyonce, J-Lo, all these Holly weirdos that nobody really gives a flying flip about unless they're, teenage girls, and the liberal wingnut females and beta males on TikTok. Nobody cares what they think about anything. Apparently, they were all being very well paid for their appearances at Kamala events, which is the only way she could draw a crowd. And the videos like from Harrison Ford and this one and that one, they're all paid. So she's burned through her money, owes $20 million, and yet she knew how to help middle-class America turn it around. Bye. And for those of us that have been suspecting all along that Joe Biden was doing everything he could to quietly sabotage Kamala, I think he proved it yesterday in the Rose Garden. He's literally standing there grinning ear to ear. He was actually coherent. I only spoke for 5 minutes. He didn't take any questions, but he was coherent. He did okay. And he's still trying to take credit that his policies will be felt over the next few years. So he's trying to somehow make part of his legacy that any success Trump has, he wants to give the media the excuse to say, it's Joe Biden. No, he doesn't. And no, his program is not going to work years from now. But hey, I give Joe his little prop there because he was smiling and grinning because he knows he knifed Kamala in the back. Think about that night she had the big speech out on the lawn of the White House. 70,000 paid government workers were there because they had to be. It was supposed to be her big night. I love what Newt Gingrich said the other night. And, Newt Gingrich is an old, swamp dweller himself, just on our side of the aisle. He knows how politics works. He said, here's a guy who's been in Washington since 1972. And he understands the art of payback and how you do it in a way that nobody realizes you're doing it. He said, in the middle of her speech, it's supposed to be the biggest night of her life on the lawn of the White House, she doesn't show honor or respect to the man in the White House by inviting him to be out there and say a few words. They kept him hid in the White House. What does he do? He gets on a Zoom call, calls half the country garbage, and he knew that soundbite would overtake anything that went on the lawn that night. But I've also told you that I think the Democrats in general really threw Kamala under the bus, that this was a lost election. It's kind of like when I coached high school varsity baseball. There was one game in particular that our best pitcher was he was, lack of a better phrase, getting lit up. I brought in a reliever who wasn't doing much to stem the tide, and the third reliever I brought in, I looked at him, I said, "Kid, I'm sorry, but tonight they seem to have our number, and I need you to take one for the team, and I need you to burn up some innings. Just put it in there and trust the defense behind you to do something to help you, but I need you to take one." Kamala was chosen to take one. And I'll tell you, Newsom, Shapiro, those guys ought to be really glad that they didn't get the nod to run. Because no matter who the Democrats put out there, the American people are blaming them for the misery at the gas station, the grocery store, and the border. But Joe Biden gets to walk away with a smile. And we on the right get to continue to celebrate and just watch the libs have complete meltdowns. I'm still waiting, and I've been looking. Maybe somebody in the comment section below can tell me, where can I find all of these white dudes for Harris posting their reactions? I so want to watch that.